streamline the configuration and development process for building PCs. For end users, what it means is seamless activation experience, and for partners, it's going to streamline supply chain operations when we're building PCs together. UEFI, this is another important area to talk to. It's a major shift. It's a very important direction for all PCs. It's required here on ARM, and it's going to be required on any PC that addresses a drive, for example, that's bigger than 2.2 terabytes. But it's got some real benefits as well. More secure boot, a boot sequence that doesn't have a lot of screens that flash. Inside, one of our firmware vendors reports a 40% performance gain on the same hardware running Windows 7 with BIOS and Windows 8 with UEFI. I've seen some of these systems with solid-state disks that are fast that completely cold boot in 6 or 7 seconds. So our UEFI engagement is another important one. Our sensor platform, we're investing in Windows 8 in what we call Sensor Fusion. And what Sensor Fusion is, it's an easy development platform that can combine the data from a variety of hardware sensors that are inside the plastic. So a magnetometer, an accelerometer, a gyro, all of the data can be pulled together so that a developer can create motion-controlled applications and games. We also are able to combine data from a GPS sensor with data from an indoor Wi-Fi service so that roaming and location apps can work whether you're indoors or out. And there are some other hardware ideas that we have about where to put buttons and where to put radio antennas to get maximum performance. We're supporting a whole range of new sensors, human proximity sensors and new kinds of cameras, ambient light sensors. But there are two areas that I want to talk more specifically about hardware, where we're thinking with hardware, and that's around display and touch. So what I showed you was Windows working on a 16:9 aspect ratio screen at a minimum of 1366 by 768. And we think that's it's currently a very popular aspect ratio on notebooks. So we think it's going to be the best way to experience Windows is that sort of orientation and up. It enables Snap. At 1024 by 768, tailored apps will run fine. They run in full screen. If you have one of the lower-end netbook screens that didn't meet Windows system requirements at 600 lines, Windows will still be able to run, but just in the desktop mode. So if you're planning for Windows 8, you want to think about those widescreen form factors at as high DPI as you want as really being the best resolution. Touch is another element that's really important. I showed you all of the software-based edge detection that we're doing that runs the Windows UI. The edges of the screen become very important. And we're doing that by paying attention to the first couple pixels around the screen so this experience works. So as a result, sensitivity matters. Starting with one of the recommended screen sizes will help improve the hit targeting. Not having a big bezel that includes your finger being able to get to that. In fact, we have some recommendations on bezel sizes so that you can easily hold the system without activating the UI inadvertently and still be able to reach all of the keys for doing things like thumb typing. So we're working with display and touch vendors right now. We're going to have more guidance and recommendations on how to build a great Windows 8 system in the next couple of months. But all of this has just been about hardware and Windows. And the real star are the apps. So we have a lot more information to share with software developers, whether you're doing application compatibility work to go from Windows 7 to Windows 8, or whether you want to learn how to access more of the underlying hardware with HTML and JavaScript, whether you're the kind of developer working on firmware or writing drivers, or you're the kind of dev that wants to make a living writing new Windows apps, the whole story, how the platform works, how the store works, how the tools work, is all going to be at the Build conference. So Build, we're announcing today, registration is open right now. It's going to be in Anaheim in September, and that conference will have all of the information around Windows, hardware and software, stuff that you would get at a WinHack or a PDC or at a Mix conference. Everything comprehensive about Windows will be at Build. Space is limited, registration is open right now. I think you'll like to be there, and I hope to see you in Anaheim in September. And so with that, I just want to thank you for coming.